All right, guys, we're doing something new. We're starting to do a little movie reaction, quick little reviews, and we just now got out of theaters of seeing Friendship, and we hadn't spoken a word to each other about it.
It was the long car ride home, just like not wanting to talk about it until we got on the pod.
Yeah.
You did make a funny point I got to bring up where you were going to go watch it, but you were just like,
yeah. Well, we went to a concert, and I wasn't feeling well, and we're in Atlanta, so we had found out Friendship was there, hit like a week early.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh man, and we were talking about going after the show, but I wasn't feeling great, and I was like, man, I could leave right now and go watch Friendship by myself, and I was like, I can't do that. That'd be the saddest thing ever.
Watching a movie called Friendship alone is hilarious.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't have to do that. But what do you think of the movie?
I mean, it felt like just a bunch of I think you should leave sketches all like rolled into one long form movie, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was parts that really hit, and there was other parts where it was like that same feeling at times where you're just like, oh, this one's not necessarily hitting for me. Oh God. And like Tim has a way of doing that. Like it's kind of like the Michael Scott where it's like, oh God, he's gonna do it. Oh God, he's doing it. He's doing it. Oh God.
I thought it was like I enjoyed it. I thought it was hilarious, but I was curious. Like I was wondering how people that aren't familiar with Tim Robinson, how they would feel about this movie.
Do you think people that aren't familiar with him are going to go see it?
Not with the crowd that we just saw it.
Yeah,
with.
it was all
that
Tim
was all
Robinson
fans. But you got Paul Rudd. It's got great reviews.
Yeah.
Mom and Dad just watched The Substance not long ago, like a week ago, and they're like, just 'cause it has good reviews,
yeah,
the Oscar nom, and they're like, this is the worst movie we've ever seen. I was like, I would have never told y'all to watch that.
No, I can't believe they watched that.
I couldn't either.
What did you think?
Well, I liked The Substance. No, no, I liked it a lot. I thought it was really good, but I was shocked at kind of. I don't watch any trailers or anything, so I was almost anticipating Paul Rudd to be the lead.
Yeah, I thought there was less Paul Rudd than I would have thought, and there wasn't as much of them. Like the come up was very quick. I thought there was going to be true heartbreak.
I thought the friendship. Yeah, I thought it was just going to be more based on Paul Rudd and this guy.
I did too.
And it was, but that is basically. I don't know if Paul Rudd was just the lead though. It's basically just remaking Cable Guy a little bit.
Yeah,
so at least with this, it's almost like Cable Guy, but you see Jim Carrey's the lead.
Yeah, that's very true. Cable Guy, great reference.
Well, like watching this too, I was thinking about Jim Carrey a lot, just because Tim Robinson's so over the top too, and he's hilarious. But I think it's kind of like Jim Carrey too, where you either love that flavor of comedy, or you might just be like, oh, this is too much.
You know what's funny? As a kid, I remember watching the Cable Guy and being like, why doesn't Matthew Broderick want to hang out with Jim Carrey?
What a nerd!
Matthew Broderick sucks.
I know. Like, Ferris Bueller would never do that.
Yeah, I was just like, God, Jim Carrey just seems awesome. He hooks him up with cable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got you those extra channels, bud. You know, like, it's just like, this guy rules. And then as an adult, you're like, oh, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't appreciate your tone, Steven. Friends aren't supposed to speak to each other like that.
What are you talking about? We're not friends. I don't even know you.
Well, let's change that. Let me buy you a Heineken.
I'm going home.
I was surprised at how sad the movie was.
It's very, like...
Well, like, that's the part where the first 30 minutes I was sitting there going, like, this is going to be like, when people are like, they don't make good comedies anymore, we'll point to this movie. This is insane how great it is. And it's still great, but it goes into a more serious direction, which is funny. Like, they still make it funny.
Well, you know, I thought the movie was about to turn, like, 3 different ways at times.
Yeah.
Because I was like, it's A24. Yeah, like, oh my God, what's the, where are they in there? You know, they're playing, like, the way they shoot it and the music. You're just like, oh my God, is this about to become a horror? And I didn't see it coming. And then it was like, oh my God, is this about to be, like, a trippy movie? Like, there was so much. And then it just, like, never really addressed itself.
Yeah.
It kind of just kept going.
Yeah, I definitely thought it was going to go a different way. But should we get into spoilers?
Yeah, so, all right, if you've been watching to this point, we are now about to dive into the movie and some of our favorite scenes and parts. So if you haven't seen it, I would stop watching now and revisit us at a later time. Don't just not. This sounds weird. Quit watching.
Yeah, if you don't care about the movie being ruined, then watch it. But we're about to, whatever. First off, first scene right away, the full mug. It's a hilarious bit. He pours the coffee to the brim. And it's like a minute scene of him just walking around the office.
You know what's so funny? It's like no one does that ever. Like it really like I've thought about like even the Keurigs, they never like it's such a small amount of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great bit.
No, that
And
was,
I just love the guy that walked behind him was just like fucking idiot.
but you're right in talking about how it was like a lot of the sketches put together from his show, because like that was one where you're going, that's perfect. Even later in the movie, when he's in the conference room again. Just it's like, oh, you know, you can just tell it's like, oh, he's doing his thing. He's done this before.
When the guy just picks him up.
Yeah, exactly.
This is embarrassing.
Exactly. Like, that was like this. You could cut this out. It almost, in a way, though, made me now think if I rewatch the show, I'm gonna just see the movie character a little bit. You know what I mean? Where it's like that's how deranged of a person he thinks it is, and even the movie could have been titled "I Think You Should Leave."
I mean, yeah, it kind of works. Because they do ask him to leave multiple times.
Yeah, he gets fired. His wife leaves him. Paul Rudd kicks him out of the
all
group.
right, so that's what I wanted to. How do they ever end up together? How does Kate Mara ever in any universe, especially this character, end up with Tim Robinson?
So they did a good job of like not
addressing it,
showing you any of their chemistry or like any loving relationship until the very, very end. You know what I mean? Like at the end, they had like a normal moment for like where it was kind of like, but it was like, okay, maybe she was in a really low point of her life.
Well, they'd been together 16 years. I mean,
but she also, it seemed like it. You know, she had something about like not wanting to leave her husband because her mom always did the same thing or something like that. She said some line about that. So maybe it's just a lot of, she knew she made a mistake early on, but it was just like, I'm riding this out.
Yeah, that's true, because she said, I'm not going to make the same mistake my mom did by not leaving the narcissistic man that she married.
So she knows she's so much better than who she ended up with.
No, that's very fair.
And I did love, jumping to the end right now, I did love how the movie, I mean, if you would have noticed me, I like put my hat on and like I was like gathering my things because I was like, oh, they're just going to give him kind of a happy ending right now, because when he gets in the car, you know, it's almost like the cameras, how they shot it. It looked like the end of the movie.
Oh,
And then it just like, it's almost panning out. And then he's just like, it's like, nope, I can't do that. Like Paul Rudd, that's all I'm thinking about right now.
It's the end of Home Alone, basically. But Kevin and the Wet Bandits are like, yeah, I appreciate what you did for me.
Okay, yeah.
Like the subtle wink that Paul Rudd throws at him there at the end is just incredible.
I was lost in the Home Alone.
Well, because I mean that's the same shot.
But do you think Paul Rudd is letting him like I was curious about that. Do you think Paul Rudd's gonna like step up for him and be like I don't know. No, you just think he's going to jail.
You kept my secret.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
You didn't tell everyone, all my friends, that I was bald.
Okay, because I was thinking there's a chance he might be like, oh, like it was a misunderstanding. Almost like lessen the charges a lot.
No, but I don't see that. And I think he's going to jail. Also, dude, Paul Rudd being bald. Fantastic.
Yeah, that was great.
Truly, like that whole scene, he slips in piss.
Especially because, like, when you watch a lot of movies like this, sometimes you're like, why would this guy keep being nice to him? Why would this guy not press charges? Why would he not? And it's like, oh, he has the ultimate secret now for a news anchor.
Paul Rudd, of all characters, seems like he should like Tim because he's weird as hell.
So in the first 5 minutes, not knowing anything about the movie, I was sitting there going, bold choice. I think Paul Rudd's actually going to be the weirdo and Tim's going to be the straight man. Like, I think they almost played into that a little bit. It cracked me up just even just how vanilla of a person he is. Like when Kate Mara's character is like, what are you doing? You don't listen to music?
Yeah.
Like, no, I like
punk now. It was kind of crazy that he just like took everything about Paul Rudd and was like, this is my personality now.
Yeah.
Like, it's like he's never had a friend before.
No, it did, like, it reminded me of being like a little kid a little bit, where you meet someone cool and you're like, oh, yeah, like.
I wear these hats
now. I say dog now, or whatever it is.
You come back, you go to the beach and you come back with a puka shell necklace because there was a kid there that had one. You're like, oh, yeah, those are rad.
I wrote it down just because it's so funny, but how he just keeps referring to the movie, The New Marvel. He's like, here's the new Marvel. Like, we got to go see the new Marvel.
It's like, people are saying it's like blowing their
Yeah,
mind.
people are saying it's nuts.
We gotta go see that Marvel tonight.
I already saw it. It's sort of.
Ah, don't spoil it. Do not spoil it. What's going on? Honey, you and I will go see this new Marvel. People are saying it's actually nuts. It's driving people crazy.
Later in the movie, when he goes to the phone store and starts, I want something stronger.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy like takes him in the back and he's like, I want ayahuasca. And he's like, I don't have ayahuasca. I have toad. Which I was like, dude, this is the second straight movie we've watched that has toad venom in it. Like,
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
weird. Flight
Yeah.
also.
Fight or flight,
has-
yeah.
Flight.
Yeah,
Fight or
he
flight.
loves that toad venom.
Yeah, it's only for the real heads to notice that. And so then he starts tripping. And he goes in the Subway and orders a sandwich. And that's such a funny scene, too. Paul Rudd being the old guy in Subway, working in Subway. And then he's just like, he wakes up and he's like, how was your trip? Did it seem like you were gone for 4 months?
Yeah, yeah.
He was like, no. I went to Subway.
Did you find the answers you're looking for? I ordered a sandwich.
He's like, man, the toad speaks in powerful ways.
That was so funny.
Well, so I thought after that, I was like, as the story kept progressing, I was like, oh, he's still in his ayahuasca toad trip.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought
Oh,
it
interesting.
was going to come back. Because it was like,
Interesting. Well, you could. I think there will be people out there being like, yeah, that's what actually happened.
I mean, it does, like, when you're watching it, because it's like all of a sudden he's at a birthday dinner for
Yeah.
his son.
And why would his wife come back?
What? Yeah.
And
why?
and just be like, there wasn't any like, hey, we need to really like talk about stuff. You know,
No,
they just
it's all of
kind
a sudden
of.
they're just at a
Yeah.
dinner, and I'm like, oh, he's definitely tripping, like hallucinating this.
Yeah, I could see there, because even at that point too, it started feeling Taxi Driver because he started like narrating more, and like, so I could see there being something like that. The scene that really was so great to me is when he smashes through the glass the first time, and they do call back to it. Great, that's how the movie pretty
He doesn't
much ends.
smash through the glass. He just runs into
Oh,
it. And that was even better.
Yeah, it's
was
even
that he
better.
closes the door
Anybody
slowly.
could come up with smash the glass, but the genius Tim Robinson, he took it next level.
What does he say?
You know, they're like, "Are you okay, bud?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And he's just like, "So how'd y'all meet?" I think the glass shatters actually after he says he's fine,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then he's like, "So how'd y'all meet?"
Yeah.
It is so.
And they
funny.
all just start losing it, which honestly, to not address it and just keep being like, no, I'm fine. I'm going to plow. It's so funny.
Oh yeah, and even how they just went into the next scene. I love that because I feel like that scene's so hard to get down. Where that it's like if that happened, it would suck, but it'd also be so funny that you would be like, we're drinking with this guy tonight.
Thought it was open.
You hit that hard.
Can I use your restroom really fast? So how'd y'all meet?
We don't normally do this, but on like a scale 1 to 10, how would you rank it? Just in terms of your enjoyment, not like this movie is that, but just how much. Where would you place it at?
Probably a 7.5, 8, somewhere in there. Like in between a 7 or an 8.
That's fair. I was thinking.
God, I'm so glad the air kicked on.
Oh, I thought you were like, I'm so glad you agree. I was stressing about that number. But no, I was thinking like probably about the same, 8 or 7.5. Like it's really good. It very funny.
The plot makes really no sense as the movie goes
It's just
on.
about an insane person.
Yeah,
but it's hilarious. But it's also like a little more sad. You know, it's not. There's a lot of emotions in it, a lot of feelings.
The most uncomfortable I got though was when he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna, I've been a bad."
That's what I was
and then
about
he
to
ate the
say.
soap.
That eating the soap felt the most like the skit because even it felt like he made the face from the zip line too. Where he's just like, "Oh, you sure?" You know,
I've been a bad boy.
yeah. No, that was uncomfortable. I think
That was like sweating.
in a movie filled with uncomfortable moments, I think that was, and him breaking into his house.
God, dude. I was getting
Whenever
anxiety
his
about
wife-
that.
It's like goes to the next room. He's just walking around with the gun.
When he gets outside and realizes he still has the gun, he's just like, "Oh, no."
I know. He just throws it over the fence. Like, he doesn't even think twice. He's not like, oh, I'll just throw this in the pool or what. I don't know.
I thought he shot Paul Rudd for a split second. I was like, oh, man, he was accidental.
Yeah. I thought it was like in the leg. I would have
thought
been
it- yeah.
surprised if it was, but yeah, I did too. One scene though that I was almost disappointed by is he's at the concert watching Paul Rudd. He just has a plate of nachos in his hand, and I was like, oh, this. I was like, I know this is going somewhere good, and like it just didn't lead it. You know, the nachos were never brought up. I thought there was gonna be like a whole thing about it. It just seemed like classic Tim. You know, he has a few bits about not sharing nachos.
Well, even in the beginning, the son gives his mom a nacho, and they kiss on the lips, and Tim just goes,
Oh.
y'all kiss each other on the lips?
That was funny.
It was like a very Tom Brady.
I know.
like,
That's what
the
I
hell?
was thinking. It's like, gross. Well, I think that about wraps it up. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, the quick review.
Go watch the movie.
Like and subscribe, share, all that lame ass shit that people have to say at the end of videos.
Yep.
Support us, though.
Thanks, guys.